Let's change the battery in this 2003 F-150. Open your hood and the battery is located on the passenger side. Let's pull back this red plastic cover over the positive side, and you'll see that both terminals are held on by an 8mm nut. So get yourself a ratchet wrench or a socket and get those loosened up. I'll start with the negative side here. Get it loose enough. You should pull off without separating this some, but if it's still tight after you loosen the nut, get yourself a screwdriver or some needle nose pliers and kind of stick in this gap and widen that terminal out. It'll come off a little easier. Mine's pretty easy to remove there. And we're going to do the same on the positive side. Just get it loose. And we'll remove that. Now we can move our wires out of the way enough to where they won't make contact with the terminals. Now we can pull off this plastic cover that goes over the battery. The battery is kind of similar to a lot of other batteries that you've probably seen. It's held on by a battery hold down bolt down here. So it's also an 8mm. It's a wedge shaped block down here. So get yourself an 8mm. I'm going to go ahead and use my ratchet wrench. You can use a socket with a extension on it if that's easier for you. There we go. Now the battery can be lifted out. If you have any debris in the battery tray, go ahead and blow that out with an air compressor or remove it with a shop vac. Most batteries will have a little sticker on them somewhere that says how old they are. This one here was made in April of 2017, so it's on borrowed time. It's about 7 years old. I'm surprised it's still been working this long. Make sure your replacement battery is the same size. For me, I went with the same Duralast Gold battery. It's an AutoZone battery. One thing to note about new batteries, they typically put the manufacture date on a sticker somewhere. On this AutoZone battery, it's on the sticker on the side here. Once you install this battery in the truck, you'll never see that sticker. So go ahead and peel off the manufacturer sticker and stick it either on the top of the battery or even better on this truck because this thing has a cover on it. I cleaned off a little spot on this battery cover. I'm going to put that sticker right here on top so I can always look at it and determine how old this battery is. Let's go ahead and set this battery back into place and don't let the terminals touch on the wires there. Now I can put this battery hold down back into position. So go ahead and set it back down where it goes. And then get that bolt started by hand. And then go ahead and tighten it up with your socket or your ratchet wrench or whatever you have there. And just get it snug. You don't need to go crazy. Maybe like a 2 or 3 fingers on the ratchet is about a good way to torque it there. Now we can go ahead and slip this plastic cover back over the battery. All right, my plastic cover's back in position. I'm gonna go ahead and look at my battery wires here and make sure it's not corroded. If it's corroded, do what you can to clean off that corrosion. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this positive wire doesn't make contact. I'm gonna take off this protective cap off the battery here. My battery had these little felt washers that just kind of act as protection there. I'm gonna go ahead and use them. They're not required, but mine are in good shape and they were on there, so I'm gonna stick them back on. I don't think they do very much. Most batteries don't have these. You don't have to use any electric grease, but I like to use this dielectric grease. Just adds another layer of protection against corrosion and whatnot and makes a good connection. Again, it's not required, but I have it. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I used it last time and this battery lasted me 7 years, so I must have did something right. Put a little bit around there. I'm gonna put a little bit around the battery post itself. And that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this positive doesn't make contact. I'm gonna stick the negative wire on. Now I can go ahead, tighten up this negative wire. This is a small nut and bolt on this terminal. You do not have to get it very tight. Just a little bit snug. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put a little bit of this dielectric grease around my battery post just to make a good connection, just to prevent corrosion. Again, not required. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make a connection and put my positive wire on. Might make a little spark. Nope. But now I can go ahead and tighten up this positive wire here with this 8mm. Get it tight enough to where you can't move the wires around. Now just put your positive wire protector back on. Now we've got our battery installed and we're all done. We've got our manufacturer date on a sticker right here where we can see it for future reference. And that's it. Pretty easy job. If this video helped you all out, give me a thumbs up. Thanks.